Hi everyone, I'm Amina and I'm your Gen Z.
And I'm Simeen, you can call me Sim, and I'm your millennial.
Welcome to Generation Connection, where we talk about all things and include our generational perspective. So today's topic is brain rot. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is this new term that has been developed that you had no idea about? And honestly, I felt like that too. But brain rot is basically feeling exhausted after over-consuming mindless content. Now, I feel like everybody has experienced this at least once in your life.
I think we are experiencing this like constantly in our lives where we don't realize it, but we are doing it because it's underlined, bold, in inverted commas, mindless.
Seriously, like either you have done it and you just haven't realized it, or you're just lying to yourself, because we've all done it. We've all just watched so many mindless content since childhood. Like for me, that's been Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network is like where it all started, where it all began.
I think it was the same for us as well. Like it started off with television. So you guys had Cartoon Network, we had the local TV, right? Local channels. It started from there, but I think of late the mindless consumption of content has become more via social media as opposed to television. Actually, maybe in my case, because I'm millennial, like I do like constantly watch a lot of television, a lot of series, things sometimes that are really, really mindless, like Love is Blind, for example. We are. So, what do you actually get out of that series? Right? You don't get anything.
But you know, it's interesting because for me, right, personally, like with university and everything, I am so used to really intense and really heavy content. Like because I am a pre-med, so it's really heavy science classes. But usually anytime I watch TV, the purpose is just to like open my head, remove my brain, put it on the side, and just simply exist. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, but sometimes like you just need that light, mindless content, you know? But also like it can get too much.
No, I completely agree, because for me also, after a long hard day at work, I want to unwind a little bit, right? I don't want to just be like work, come home, do some more work, and then go to sleep and not really have off time, you know. And I know we can like have healthier off time, but sometimes you just need something completely unserious like Love is Blind.
Seriously. Yeah, and the thing is,
or Dubai Bling.
Oh, Dubai Bling is a family activity, okay? We have to sit together because, see, the thing is, like, with Dubai Bling, there's something familiar as well. You're like, oh, Dubai. I remember when I used to go down those roads. I remember, like, all of this stuff. And you know what? Like, when you're a kid, man, the slapstick humor, that's just the best. I always see, like, today's cartoons. I don't know if you guys have also noticed, but it's completely, like, everything's meaningful. And that's fantastic. But I think about it when I was a kid, like, nothing was that meaningful. Nothing was, you know, so deep.
Now, we are speaking in terms of a millennial and a Gen Z, and we are comparing our from childhood till date. So, as of now, I guess it's common for the both of us, right?
Yeah.
But in my initial years, we used to just absolutely be obsessed with watching cartoons like Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes, for example.
Yeah.
And there was literally no knowledge to be derived from that, except for the fact that Tom was like mostly evil and Jerry was also kind of evil, but then he like that's what I used to feel like, why are they both so evil?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have something to talk about this. So we've talked about Tom and Jerry before, okay? And I was thinking, I was doing some reflection, okay? And I was trying to remember what some of the episodes were like. And some of the episodes were super, like, just no purpose, nothing, okay? But there were some episodes, it usually used to be the finales, that used to be extremely heavy. And I remember this because there was one episode that scarred me, okay? It was...
Which one?
It was season 6, like final episode, and I remember this because we had the DVDs and everything. It was even, like, I remember the name as well. It was called Heavenly Puss, okay? Now,
Oh my goodness.
You know it?
Where he
No.
goes, the
Yeah.
escalator. Oh my word. Yeah, I remember that.
what was that? It scarred me. Okay, okay. So basically, for the viewers, okay, the whole point of that episode was to talk about heaven, hell, and the power of forgiveness. Now, for Tom and Jerry, that's very heavy, and it used to always catch me off guard. Like one episode, the whole kitchen will be frozen over, and they'll be skating, and then the next episode, and the next episode would be this. So basically, right, Tom dies. Okay, Tom dies, goes on an escalator to heaven, not a stairway, escalator to heaven. Okay, there's a train to heaven, and he wants to get on it, but there's a ticket booth that he has to go through. And he goes to the ticket booth, and the guy is like, no, you're going to hell because you have just been so mean to Jerry. Like, he sees hell, right? Like, he sees like a little clip of hell, and it's Spike.
They give him a glimpse of
Yeah,
it.
like a little preview.
Devil trying to boil him in the little pot.
Exactly.
It was so scary.
It's so scary. So then he's given an hour to get Jerry's forgiveness, and Jerry has to sign a contract saying that he forgives Tom. And he's put back into his mortal body, and the whole hour he's trying to get Jerry's forgiveness, and he's trying to do nice things for Jerry, and Jerry is, well, Jerry. So he's trying to take advantage of it. And then Jerry signs that contract like a millisecond after the clock runs out. And there's like a whole alarm clock thing hanging behind, like hovering behind him and everything. He signs it when it's too late, and the floor opens, and Tom just goes down to hell. And then we realize that Tom is just dreaming. But when I tell you that episode gave me, like, I did not need an existential crisis and an anxiety attack at the age of 7. Like, I was like, what is happening? And I used to avoid that episode like the plague, because it was like...
You know what?
Yeah.
I still remember that I used to get this recurrent nightmare, okay?
Okay.
Where I died.
Oh god.
And I even remember how I died. I was sitting in the back seat. My dad is driving the car, and siblings sitting at the back, and I'm wearing my headphones and I'm listening to music, and I die. And then I go to the clouds, you know, and
Yeah. The
there's an
escalator
actual
to heaven, yeah.
No, there was no escalator. It was just
Yeah.
like I'm there, you know.
Yeah.
And there's an actual golden gate,
Okay.
and they're refusing me at the golden gate to enter.
Okay.
And I'm trying to climb the gate, and I'm
Oh.
screaming and crying.
Oh. Wait, how old were you?
I don't know, like 7, 8 maybe,
Oh
or
my
maybe like.
gosh.
But it was a recurrent nightmare. So I used to get it like it started like when I had just come to Dubai, and then continued for like the next 4-5 years. So I wonder if all this Tom and Jerry, because where did the concept of Golden Gate come in my head as a child?
Oh my gosh, that's insane. I think I would
Yeah,
not
it
recover
was-
from that. Like,
It was spooky. It was very
Yeah.
spooky. To be honest with you, I would wake up crying and stuff, like with actual tears on my
Oh.
cheeks. You know, it was-
but yeah, like there was one episode like this, and then there was one episode that was about like materialism. I think that was the final episode, where Tom's
Which one was
trying,
that?
like Tom's trying to like woo this one cat, like the lady cat, and
the
he
white,
had-
the white.
yeah, the white.
I remember Tom going.
Like it was that, and then do you remember the ring where Tom's ring? She needs like a like magnifying glass to look.
It's so bad.
Like for kids, like materialism, that's so intense. But then like the other episodes would be like nothing's going on. Tom's at the opera singing, like.
No, he's conducting, right? Like he's
Wait,
a
was
conductor, right?
Was it a
Yeah, he's
conductor?
conducting.
The one I'm
Yeah,
talking
and
about.
Jerry tries to takes over, and then like they're fighting for the being the
Oh,
conductor.
you're
and
so right. There was that, and then there was the opera one, the Picaro one.
See, we're still laughing. So you know, this mindless consumption, I feel like it's still given us some memories where I'm actually
Yeah.
right now laughing. So
It's cool.
you know, it's-
Like Yeah.
But like again, like there's so many implications of brain rot as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's the exhaustion part of it that, like, if you feel tired after just consuming mindless content, then that's something to be worried about, because that's gonna hinder you, right? And the next, like, if it's at night and you're doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, like, and you're putting off sleep for that mindless content, I think that's when it becomes harmful, because it's gonna disrupt your whole day, like the next day.
So I'll tell you what, like with me, what happened was before I even knew the concept of brain rot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to actually watch TV for a very long time, or me and Ali, like that's our pastime, right? Whenever we are free, we become couch potatoes and we're just like watching random stuff on TV. And we watch TV to a point that we have nothing to watch anymore on Netflix, Prime, Apple. Like everything is done. We've watched everything. It's weird. And then we're complaining that we don't have time.
Oh.
We are complaining that don't have time to do stuff. But the main part was that after we are done watching TV, or even after watching like an hour of TV, you feel lazy, tired, depleted, exhausted. Your brain is just not functioning. Half of the time I get headaches, or I'm just like not in a mood to do anything.
You're like
and
drained.
especially at that point, you're drained. And especially at that point, if Ali or my friends call me and they say that, Simi, let's go out, let's do that. I'm like, you know what, leave it. So I'm honestly not socializing because of that. I don't get work done because Ali sometimes is like, okay, we have so many errands to run, let's just go finish all the errands. I can't. And I realized only after I learned about the concept of brain rot, and then I was like, oh wait, this is what's causing it. Maybe not solely, but it has a huge part to play in it.
I never thought about the socializing aspect of it, and honestly, like, now when I'm thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense, because it's like you'd rather sit at home, watch TV, but when you magnify that, when that's kind of hindering you from making other plans and being social, and if you need like networking, sometimes like I've put off studying because I just like, oh, I feel too tired, so let me watch one more episode.
You know how much content we can film and edit during that time? Instead of like,
and it's just
we give ourselves excuse. Yeah, that, oh no, because I'm scrolling, I'm learning about other content creators.
Research. It's research. Because like that's what you think, right? That's what you think is happening, and like you just keep making excuses just to have more mindless content, and I think then that just leads to brain rot, and it's like this cycle,
And coming back to the point you had said earlier that, just before sleeping, we are scrolling like constantly. So first of all, you're not even supposed to do that like couple of hours. You need to stop screen time couple of hours before sleeping so that you can get, to take care of your sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is something where you sleep well, your heart rate drops sooner. Now imagine if you've watched a horror movie just before sleeping, your heart rate is not going to go down soon. It's going to stay like elevated for a very long time.
Yeah.
Plus you're going to wake up at night, disturbed and stuff. And plus because you've been on the screen for such a long time, it's difficult for your brain to shut down. So, that ideally you need to stop like watching TV at 7:30, 8 at night and wind down till you fall asleep. But no, till I lay down in bed, I still need to scroll, the last minute scroll, and then put the phone on charge and like immediately try to go to sleep after.
Another thing for me is notifications. So, and this is selectively for like, I don't know if this feature is in Android, so if you're an iPhone user, the do not disturb feature is fantastic. Like, I put my phone...
I've not tried this.
Immediately you need to try it. Because if you go on your settings and you do not disturb, you can choose who can contact you. Like, sometimes when you get a phone call, when you get a text, it's like, you think it's an emergency, right? Like, for instance, right, just an example, if my mom's calling me, I know she's calling me because she needs something and that's an emergency. So actually, I can adjust that setting in do not disturb, but otherwise you're not going to get any notifications. No calls, no texts, no
I
Instagram.
need to look into this, because what's funny is I have actually manually gone on each and every app and
muted notifications?
Muted notifications.
You, oh my god. Yeah, no, this is express route. You don't have to do that. This is the faster way of doing it. Just do not disturb. Like, I feel like that really helps because sometimes I see like, oh, my friend sent me a reel. Let me go watch that. And then it'll be like a really funny reel. And then boom, again. You know, the minute you stop that cycle, something happens that kind of pulls you back in. So that's what I've started doing, and honestly it's really helped.
So another thing that you go through with all this mindless consumption, sometimes we don't realize we're doing it, but you start comparing yourself to other people as well, you know? Like if you're watching meaningful stuff, learning stuff, if you're having enough time to do self-development, for example, like we say we don't have time, you could like do something productive during that time for your house. You could learn a new hobby, you could study, you could like, you know, I don't know, like in my case, I could actually do some physical activities and, you know, all this like gives you more confidence as well, I feel. And you're not just not doing anything about your dreams and aspirations. And then like very conveniently complaining, oh, I don't have time, you know?
Yeah, like I totally get that. And like for me, it's also like the time. Like if I'll be like, okay, at 2 o'clock, I'll resume my work, but it's 2:05. Oh no, okay, let me watch something else. I'll start at 3. Oh no, it's 3:10. Oh, okay, yeah, well, you know, it's like that. Like for me,
yeah, you always tell yourself, I'll manage. In the time that's left, I'll manage to finish it, you know? But you don't.
Exactly.
And then you just stress yourself out.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to add, along with procrastination, see, sometimes you don't want to be productive. Sometimes like you're so overworked that you don't want to do work. But there are so many other things you can do. Like you said, you can do a hobby. If, for instance, like, or read a book, you know? You could do other things that don't really...
Or listen to a podcast or something that actually
listen
helps.
to a podcast. Like, I'd see, this is something we talked about our last episode as well. We talked about, you know, always being overproductive, feeling the need to always do something, right? With brain rot, you're still being stimulated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes complete sense. You're
like,
not switching off.
You're not switching off. And sometimes you need to switch off, right? Like, and that could be in terms of anything. You don't have to do anything where you need to learn something. You could simply do something that brings you ease, you know?
Yeah.
Like, knitting. You could. Like, I don't know why. Yeah. Like, I thought of that. But knitting.
No, but gardening, knitting, gardening, going for a stroll, or, you know, even meditation or something, you know, where you
journaling,
actually,
straight up.
Yeah. Decluttering, like, you know, cleaning your house and everything also is like a release, and that's actually being mindless but calming. That's why a lot of people feel calm after they clean their house and stuff. Also, have you realized of late, like, you know, in our generation, you know, we had like movies, and maybe not all the movies, but lots of movies and cartoons especially, which we watched as kids, they were mindless. They had no hidden what do you call it, lesson to be learned or morals or anything. It would not teach you nothing. It was just like absolute nonsense. I mean, I even remember at one point we were watching, actually I was thinking, like, you know, like things like Charlie Chaplin, Laurel Hardy. I was actually trying to think, and I was like, maybe I should rewatch it, because these are the kind of things Mr. Bean, you know, we used to watch it on.
Mr. Bean, man, has no haters. I love him.
I used to watch it on repeat, and you know, all these even had no conversation.
Oh yeah.
As far as I remember, Laurel Hardy, Charlie, these never had a conversation. They were all
silent.
Right? Silent, yeah, and also Mr. Bean, right?
Yeah, Mr. Bean did not talk, but everyone around him did.
Did? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I know this because I watched Mr. Bean's Holiday really recently.
The movie, I know, in the movie everybody was talking, and Mr. Bean literally says...
the show, right?
Not the show, there was a movie, right? Where he says...
Oh, yeah.
At the airport, he's like, oui, and then he says...
no.
No. And then he doesn't say French, thank you. He says gracias or something, I remember.
Dude, that movie, man, so good. So we watched the movies more than the TV show. At that point, when we were, when we came into existence, we had the cartoon. Because they
the
had
Mr. Bean cartoon.
the
Yeah,
cartoon,
I remember,
yeah.
yeah.
So we didn't
I
watch
barely
a lot
watched
of
that.
the we didn't watch a lot of like the old TV show, the original. We watched a lot of the cartoon. I actually actively tried to think, and I do not recall any cartoon that was really meaningful that we used to watch. Like either it was about nothing, or it was just pure. Like it used to just be pure entertainment. Like we used to watch
Yeah.
Samurai Jack. We used to watch Powerpuff Girls. Dexter's
We
Laboratory.
used to watch that. It's the same for us as well.
So yeah, so little anecdote. We used to go to her house, and like basically because you were living with like my grandparents, right? And we used to just watch cartoons all day. We used to come Friday night, and then we used to stay for the weekend, and we used to just watch cartoons all day, and it was fantastic. It was so good.
Yeah, literally Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff
Yeah.
Girls. There was Ed and Eddie.
Bro,
It
okay.
was so bad.
And then it was horrible. We were not allowed
was
to
so
watch that. We used to get yelled
Oh, you're
at.
not allowed to watch that.
No.
Wait, Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo. I told you. I told her this like a couple days ago that we used to think watching. Yeah. We used to think watching Johnny Bravo was haram because it was scandalous. Don't ask me. Tom and Jerry, obviously. And then there was one, and this one I had told her about it, and she just could not wrap her head around it as well. Augie and the Cockroaches.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so basically, Augie. You know, I was thinking about it, and it's basically Tom and Jerry, but because Augie was a blue cat who used to live in this massive house, and he had 3 cockroaches, basically Jerry times 3, and they used to just make his life, like, they used to just be a menace, like, the whole time, and Augie would try to kill these cockroaches, they wouldn't die.
Cockroaches.
Yeah. Now the thing is, now let's add another layer of brain rot to it, okay? It used to be Hindi dubbed, the one that we used to watch, because it used to come like normal. It used to come normal. Well, we used to watch Hindi dubbed. Now, the thing is, there's no dialogues. There's no dialogues. What are they going to dub was the question. So they used to create dialogues. They used to literally...
Oh, so the actual content had no dialogues.
No, it was just like Tom and Jerry, just music. So what are
their
you
mouth
gonna
used
dub?
to move?
No, nothing.
What?
They used to Santi is by the way, disclaimer. I call her Santi.
Okay, Simi and Auntie, yeah.
Her name in the family is just Santi. That's it. Like, so back to Augie and the Cockroaches. They used to, like, the dialogues used to literally be like, if Augie's going to go do something, it used to be like, okay, like in Hindi, they used to say, alright, I'm gonna go do this. What is the purpose of that? I do not know, right? Like, it used to be like, I'm gonna go do this. Oh, I'm feeling like this. Oh, these dang cockroaches. But all in Hindi. So, I think about it, and I'm like, if I knew that she did not know what Augie and the Cockroaches was, when we were in Dubai, I would have made her watch it just so she would hate me. Like, you would not talk to me because it's an experience, okay? It's an experience everyone needs to go through.
Maybe it'll be on YouTube or something. I don't know what the heck this Augie and the Cockroaches is.
The Hindi
Hey,
dub
wait, do you
especially.
remember? Do you remember the Cowardly Dog?
Courage the Coward.
Courage the Coward, the Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh my gosh. See, as a kid, I was really easily spooked. And that
No,
cartoon did not help.
she's easily spooked now as well. What was that movie you got scared of? What was that? She told us something and I was like, why are you scared of
That
that?
movie, From, the TV show?
From. Yeah.
Okay, I can defend myself here. It was really spooky, and I don't like it when people are trapped in survival situations. because then it gives me anxiety. But then, like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that situation. Imagine being in that situation. So I hate horror movies.
You've never read any of the Stephen King novels, right?
Mm-mm.
No, but don't read any of it because it's all desperation, anxiety, and stress.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
I
used
can't.
to
I
be
can't do that.
obsessed with. Yeah, I used to be obsessed with Stephen King. So can you imagine the kind of brain rot I was partaking?
Don't worry, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I'm on the Augie and the Cockroaches side. I have no way I can defend myself on that front. Like, it was
In
golden.
that case, I'm proud of my Stephen King addiction.
At least you used to read, okay? At least you used to read. You would learn
Choose all
English.
Augie and the Cockroaches in Hindi dubbed.
Now I can say, oh, it helped my Hindi, but it really did not. You know? The thing with Augie, right? Because I know Doraemon and everything is, and it's just like, oh my gosh. But with Augie, the voice actor used to do this thing where each character, he used to make them sound like a different Bollywood actor. And it was so random.
Why?
But it was so fun. Like, Augie was Shah Rukh
Please
Khan.
tell me. Oh, okay, Augie was Shah Rukh Khan.
Augie was Shah Rukh Khan.
Please say that there was Shah. Was there any Amitabh Bachchan or something?
No, there was Sunny Deol. Augie's neighbor, the other cat, was Sunny Deol. And then the three cockroaches were Akshay Kumar, Sunil Shetty, and Paresh Rawal.
Oh my god, because of that movie, I guess.
Yeah. But again, I really wish that I had showed it to you. I just wanted to see, you know,
My reaction.
how you would react. Yeah.
But I think,
You know,
like, off late,
yeah.
I've noticed that they have, like, many, like, even animated movies or cartoons. I mean, I don't think they call it cartoons anymore, right? But they have, like, Zootopia or, you know, which other ones? Moana. Or
Elemental.
There's always Elemental, you know, like,
Yeah.
or that Inside Out. I thought Inside Out was brilliant.
My
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
I
It was
was
brilliant.
bawling during that movie.
Yeah. The second one, right?
No, the first one also. I haven't watched. I don't think I have the strength to watch the second one.
Oh my god! Like first one I didn't cry, but the second one I was like,
So
I
another
couldn't
thing
stop
about
crying.
me, I cry really easily in movies. I cried during Rio too. Like,
Me too.
okay, I'm so glad. I'm so bad. Like, people thought I was crazy, but okay, that's great. It's really crazy, and I wanted to talk about this too. Like, I think children's like TV shows and movies, they've gotten so meaningful. They're all like talking about, because in our time I feel like it should just be friendship and that was it. But now
it was
it's
always
like,
friendship, family, and good versus evil. That was it.
yeah, exactly. But now it's so much more complex. Like, it's discrimination, racism, prejudice, like
Yeah.
depression, like mental health. Like, that is honestly for me, like, I cannot fathom it. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, do you think too young is a thing for like meaningful content? Like, you could be too young.
I don't think so. First of all, I don't think like even beyond a certain age, before a certain age, you shouldn't be like watching TV. And if I ever have a child, I would not let them watch TV for some time. Like
Okay.
maybe a little bit more interactive stuff, you know, toys or whatever. Something which is a little bit more. Let them give them few years of good, like development of the brain, good cognitive development,
Yeah.
you know, physical function. I would want them to focus more on developing their brain, their physical strength, you know, like things like that. Once they actually start going to school and stuff, then of course, because they will like have to discuss with their friends and stuff, right? So yeah, make them watch stuff, but I would filter it for sure, like with like meaningful content, so that they're used to watching meaningful stuff and be what do you call it? You know, this
Influenced?
mindless stuff would not.
Oh.
Yeah, it would not. It would not interest them. They would think it is stupid. Like
Yeah.
now, I've come to a point where I cannot watch stupid stuff. Like it is annoying to me, you know. Except for social media. On social media,
Yeah.
I'm watching all sorts of, you know. But movie, if it is like
Yeah.
silly, I get angry. I'm like, what is this? They just wasted my time, you know. So yeah, I don't think it's like no age is too early. I feel for consumption of meaningful content.
We forget that brain rot can happen in children as well, right? Like, what you said about not showing them any television is, I think, the key. Because even if they're, because I see a lot of kids just constantly watching Cocomelon without.
What's Cocomelon?
Cocomelon is this like new cartoon for like babies, and there's like songs, and it's essentially supposed to like.
Is it the new Barney show or something?
It's not exactly like Barney. It's like, you know, the giant baby, like it's fully animated, and it's like Cocomelon is. I think Cocomelon is the giant baby that's in it. But you know, there was a research study that came out that Cocomelon is addictive for babies.
Oh.
Babies can develop an addiction to Cocomelon, and I feel like that is just crazy. And to me, that's why I feel like brain rot can also happen in children, like as young as babies. Like they can just over consume content and feel really exhausted and frustrated.
But is Cocomelon something like your Sesame Street or something? Because I remember Sesame Street used to have, it was educational.
So Cocomelon, from the impression I get, is it's literally just like 10-minute clips, and it's just songs. Like it's like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but like a rendition of it, and it'll be like, oh, like clean your drawer, or clean something like that. Like, I mean, don't clean your drawer. Like, I don't think babies can do that, but like, I don't know. I can't remember it. Like, I'm thinking about that because I need to do it, but yeah, like it'll be stuff like that. Yeah.
I just thought of something right now. When you said twinkle, twinkle, clean your drawer or something. I don't know what you said right now.
I don't know either.
But you know where I'm getting at, right? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling up.
There's like really, morbid. Ring Around the Roses.
And Humpty Dumpty fell and broke, and why? Why did he break?
You know, see, the thing is, right, with Ring Around the Roses, instead of ashes, ashes, we thought it was Asha Busha, so that's like the only reason why we used to sing it. I mean, I do think that we ended up really good, but...
No, we didn't! This is like her being Delulu.
Okay, let me rephrase that.
We are getting by. We're getting
by.
Where do you see yourself? Like, where do you see the balance coming? And how do we control this? Like, okay, now we know what brain rot is and how we got brain rotted, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, like, now how do we, like...
Honestly, I think that balance, we're still trying to achieve. I am really trying. Because also, our family specifically, we are not the type to, you know, like, work out. Like... I'm trying to be as diplomatic as I can, but like, it doesn't come naturally to us. I feel like because you know, when we've grown up watching TV constantly, like maybe like going outside to play was like active, but that was also like more of a social thing, right? So I think that we are still trying to achieve that balance. Like we're trying to do different things, like do not disturb or going on every single app and muting our notifications, you know? Like, we're trying to do that.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me about this fault.
I got you. That's my job here. Yeah, but like, finding alternatives, I think that's the only way you can get balance. Because I agree, sometimes you do need mindless content.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like we need to watch some Tom and Jerry just to, you know.
Yeah, like relax, you know.
Yeah, but it's like for me, honestly, it's nostalgia as well now. To a point that, like, okay, now I just like associate it with innocent times, and I don't find it silly. I know I said I don't watch mindless stuff, but on TV. But you know what? Like these kind of stuff, like Mr. Bean, come on.
Yeah.
It just de-stresses you. It's so nice, you know.
Exactly, and the memories come flooding back, right? Like when I watch Powerpuff Girls, I think about your old house. And I think about how, like, like my grandmother, and usually she used to be cooking something. While I used to be watching this. So there's that nostalgia, there's that memories. Like if I watch Ben 10, I'm gonna think about my cousins because I used to watch it a lot with my cousins. And then that's my question as well, right? Like for kids, I think kids should have like a little bit of like some mindless content, like cartoons and everything, I would honestly show my kids Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, I guess Tom and Jerry would be fine. I would not show them anything else that, like the newer ones are good enough, but as a classic, maybe I would just show them Mr. Bean and Tom and Jerry, just to like
Yeah.
show them a little bit of my childhood.
Yeah. And when you said that, like, that's so interesting because that's what my mom does with us sometimes. She showed us Mind Your Language.
Oh yeah.
And she showed us that. And
So
she
by
showed
the way,
us,
that
like,
that's
different-
not our generation, right? That's my father's generation.
right.
So my
'cause
dad
yeah.
made us watch it, and then she's making you watch it. So it's
That's
passed on.
so cool. Like,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
a family heirloom. Like,
Yeah.
and also another thing that I want to touch up on just briefly. A lot of kids, they use observational learning. So we have to model that for them as
Yeah.
well, right? Like if we're sitting and we're watching mindless content, they're going to want to watch mindless content. So
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes, like that duty comes on us
Lead
as well,
by
right?
example. Yeah, yeah. Lead by
Exactly.
example. Yeah. And I think like a couple of things like I have started implementing now, where I actually see my screen time, how
Mhm.
much screen time I have, and I try to find a balance, because if you're a content creator, of course you cannot be off the screen as much. Like Ali uses lesser screen time than me, obviously, because
Yeah.
I'm using the screen to edit. I'm doing a lot of things, but when it comes to social media or doom scrolling and stuff, I'm trying to watch my screen time for that.
There's so many things because as content creators, I mean, I know we made fun of it, but you do have to do research and you have to engage. Like for
Yeah.
Instagram and TikTok, you have to engage, you have to watch videos all the way through, like, comment, all of that stuff. But I think you just have to draw that line because it's so easy, even when you're engaging for the sake of like work, like you get to that
Yeah.
point, you get to that exhaustion. So I think finding that balance, like we talked about, finding things where you don't need to be productive, you don't have to be active, you could be doing it passively as well. Like finding what activities work for you in that sense, because not only is it therapeutic for you, but it's also kind of giving you some sense of like detachment,
Yeah.
where you just don't have to be stimulated. Okay, so we have discussed a lot about what brain rot is, how it happens. Now, what to do about it?
First of all, being mindful. I think like being mindful in everything is so important, and same applies over here, where you actually filter out what you're consuming. Like I said, like we have watched everything on Netflix. Like that's such a bad thing. Like that means that we have not segregated or thought of like what we are watching. And the second thing is like setting boundaries and timetables, where you just allocate a certain time for it. I think that's perfectly fine, because then that, let's say, from the time I come home and I'm having my dinner to a certain point of time, I can watch TV. But then after that, I need to go on and do other stuff, be more productive.
So I think we touched on this like a little earlier in the episode. Definitely finding hobbies where you don't have to be stimulated, but you can, like actually do it to
Knitting.
relax. Sorry? Yeah, knitting. Yeah. Exactly, like knitting. There's so many things out there. So I think finding those activities where you don't have to be stimulated and you can just relax, detach from your work and any sort of stimulation, which includes watching TV. Like you said, mindfulness, meditation is good. Anything like that is great.
Yeah, I remember I used to paint a lot before, and it used to like de-stress me so much. So
Yeah.
like maybe like try out something that suits your,
Yeah, like baking
but
is
yeah,
also another thing that a lot of people
yeah.
do. Yeah. So there could be that. There could be detoxing yourself digitally, right? Like you just stay away from screens, any types, like TV, laptop, phone, what you name it. I think that could just really do wonders.
I think actually that's a brilliant one, because like I feel if you can do that, a detox for a day, for example. So on the weekend, like you have Saturday and Sunday. Saturday you get engaged, but on Sunday if you can just let go of your phone and your TV and instead like go out in the nature and do something else which is entertaining, you know?
Yeah, like touch the grass. Like, we don't do that.
Yeah, here we touch the sand, you know. So.
It's true. Oh gosh, ride a camel for God's sakes, you know. Like, but there's so many ways that you can avoid and combat brain rot if you're in the middle of it. Because honestly, let's be for real, it's not a good thing. It's not ideal. It is what's mentally draining and mentally exhausting us to the level that we're not able to function properly at our jobs or our like schools or anything. And it is, you could definitely say like it is sort of a pandemic caused by technology, right? Like access to technology, access to social media. So these are some things, and it's very, very, very important to, you know, kind of regard it and just be conscious of it, because you don't want to go in that cycle where you're constantly in a brain rot cycle. You know, you feel tired, you consume more content. You feel tired, you consume more content, just thinking that, okay, maybe this time it will eradicate my exhaustion, but actually it's just adding on to it. And next time, like if you're binging a TV show, ask yourself, do you really need to watch that other episode? Do you really need to, if you even have like a moment of break,
it can wait.
It can wait, right? Like, we go on to the next episode, we go on to the next reel because we're just passively doing it. But if you just stop for a minute, have that like 5 seconds of mindfulness, like, do I really need to do this? That'll immediately break your pattern.
You know, actually what I do in such situations usually, I get up and go get myself a glass of water or make myself a herbal tea or something. And then I'm like, you know what, let me just not watch the TV now, so actually just getting up from the couch or bed or wherever you are, it breaks the cycle. I think you need to actually get up, use the washroom, go make yourself a tea or something, you know, and then like you just feel like, oh, I don't need to go back to the TV.
Yeah, so I think that is a great place to end our episode.
Absolutely.
Please. This was a little chaotic episode, especially like compared to our first one.
No, actually I love this one because I actually had fun in this one, you know, more than,
exactly. I think we were just nervous.
Yeah. And you know what, like just give us some space and some time to like grow, and all your healthy suggestions and topics that you want to let us know, like, you're most welcome. Please leave them in the comments, and
join the discussion.
Be kind. Because we're just starting, we're new, so be kind to us.
So, but we hope you enjoyed. We hope, especially we hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on like multiple platforms. And thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, we love you already. But yeah, thank you so much. We will see you in the next episode. Bye!